guys, I am about ready to make some soap. I'm still getting ready here. Just kind of situating my workstation, getting my blender head attached. I just washed it. It's nice and clean and ready to go. All right, so smaller batch today. It's a special batch. I'm gonna make some salt bars. Salt bars are excellent for exfoliation. They're very highly cleansing because they have a great deal of coconut oil in them. So if you're allergic to coconuts, this is not the bar for you. Lots of coconut oil. All right, I'm gonna bring this to an emulsion. All right, emulsion is just the fancy way of saying the oils and the lye solution are not going to separate. And that's really nice. So I'm gonna put my colorant, which is ultramarine blue from Mad Micas, as well as Sparkle Plenty from Mad Micas. And I have dissolved it in some hot water. I've been doing this with my neons and this ultramarine blue and a couple other colorants because there are no chunks and there's nothing really left to speak of. Sometimes when I do my lightweight oils, it will leave some chunks. So every once in a while I will add water to disperse my colorant rather than a lightweight oil. Especially if I do a water discount. If I do a severe water discount, I'm not worried about there being extra liquid in the soap. Otherwise, it might get a little gooey or sticky if I add too much, but I'm not. So I am just gonna blend this a little bit more. That colorant will go from grainy to a really beautiful, vibrant blue. And I tell you what, I can almost like feel a chill in the air from this particular fragrance oil. This is by far my favorite fragrance oil from the Midwest Fragrance Company. It is peppermint, just straight peppermint fragrance oil. I do believe the oil does actually have some essential oil in it. It is phthalate free. It is just delightful. This is my favorite peppermint from any company that I've ever ordered from. And it's also my favorite oil, like across the board, from the Midwest Fragrance Company. So if you're looking and you're a maker and you're wanting to try new fragrance oil and you haven't tried this one, go ahead and give it a try. I know you will like it. It is lovely. At least I think you will like it. Everybody's noses, I hope you don't have multiple noses. Everybody's nose is so different. That I had to learn really the hard way. Is I just started ordering oils that people suggested and I was like, I don't like this. I don't like it. I had to really discover what I liked. All right, so here is 12 ounces of pink Himalayan salt in the fine grain. I get it from Costco. It's just the Kirkland's brand. So I'm just gonna pour this right in. You want to pour in your salt before it reaches a thick trace, because if you wait, there's no way on earth you are going to get this mixed in. It's going to accelerate. It does accelerate already, just pouring the salt in. So salt bar, I do formulate my own salt bars. And so what I do is I personally use 50% of the weight in oil. So when you're formulating your recipe, it says how many ounces or grams or pounds of oils are you working with. I put that number in, which in this batch case, it's 24 ounces. And then the salt, I half the amount of oil. And so I have 12 ounces of oil. And I do put these into individual cavity molds because salt bars set up very quickly. And I honestly have just not gotten brave enough to make this in a loaf mold. I know there are so many makers who do make it in loaf molds, and they say, watch it like a hawk because you're going to have to cut it within a few hours of pouring. And if you don't, there's no way you're going to be able to pour it or cut it because it's just too solid. You will break your cutter or have a difficult time with your knife cutting it. So I've just gone the route of individual cavity molds. It's worked really well for me for my salt bars. These are one thing that people historically and consistently have asked for in my shop are salt bars, and I love making them. My last time making them was a flopped batch. It accelerated too quickly. I was working at too high of temperatures with an accelerating fragrance oil. I just couldn't get it in the molds fast enough. It just got too solid on me too quickly. So I'm gonna just move this over. This is starting to set up. But not too fast to where I'm not gonna be able to get it in. So the thing about individual cavity molds is I don't have the, it really is a mental thing. It's a serotonin boost when I cut my bars of soap. You don't have that when you have the individual cavity molds because you just pop them out of the molds, which is satisfying. It is satisfying. It's just not the same experience as a maker than actually cutting your soap. So there is that. So I'm just gonna let these set up. They do get a significant amount of ashing, and I'll tell you why. Salt is going to draw moisture out of the air, even if you are in a very arid climate. Even if you do a very, very heavy water discount, you probably are still going to have severe ashing on your salt bars. That I have come to live with and accept fully. I don't care. They're gorgeous in and of themselves, and that ashiness kind of adds to the aesthetic. So I never fight the ash with the salt bars. I just let it happen. And these honestly will be ready to pop out in a few hours. I don't know if I actually will pop them out right away or if I'll just let them sit overnight. But there you go, guys. Here's me making salt bars. I will bring you back when I do pop them out, and I'll show you what they look like. Alright, guys, here I am. I am back. I'm gonna put some gloves on because it literally has been only 2 hours since I poured these bad boys, and you can actually see the little granules of salt. Okay, hot tip, when it goes like this and you can see gaps like that, it usually means it is ready to unmold. Usually, not always, but it is a good indication that it's probably getting there. What you really want to do with an individual cavity mold, you're just trying, or a silicone mold, period. You're trying to break the seal between the silicone and the bar of soap itself. You're not ripping the soap off of the silicone, you're breaking the airlock, basically. So this is the bar. Like I said, you could see the individual granules of salt. This is going to get really nice and ashy looking, even probably by the time I take the pictures for these soaps. But it is such a lovely exfoliating soap. It is perfect for really messy jobs, or for like when you're right about to shave and you want to exfoliate your legs and or face if you shave your face. So yeah, I've had really great reviews on my salt bars from a lot of different people. Just really loving the feel of the exfoliation And, yeah, I love them. I always keep a salt bar in my shower because I love using it on my feet. I do not like wearing shoes. I am like the anti-shoe garden fairy. I hate shoes. I want to walk on the bare earth with my feet bare. As well. That didn't turn out as majestic sounding as it was meant to. But here we go. Here are the oval bars, and then now for the heart. And see again, you see the gaps between the silicone and the soap itself. I'm just going to turn this upside down. Let's see. Oh yeah, that was ready. So ready. So ready to be out of here. Get me out of this mold. I am going to try and stamp these. I don't think I'm going to actually record that. But yeah, I'm gonna try and stamp these because if I don't stamp them now, they're just gonna be too hard as little rocks to stamp later. And guys, I literally poured these 2 hours ago and they're already solid. If I had waited, I mean, of course, they're in individual molds, but if I had made this in a loaf mold and waited overnight or 18 hours, there's absolutely no way I would have been able to cut because it's already this solid. And yeah, it's not completely hard as a rock yet, but by tomorrow morning it will be. It's 10 o'clock at night right now when I'm recording this. So yeah, by the morning it definitely will be. So yeah, I'm going to stamp these. I'll get some glamour shots taken and I will insert those in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions about making salt bars, let me know, because I know I didn't go into a great deal of detail, but hopefully this was helpful in kind of giving you some tips on how to work on making salt bars.